The best time to invest was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. But what do you do if you have a ton of debt? Do you prioritize investing or paying off debt? The answer is not simple. Debt can trigger a lot of different emotions: anxiety, stress, fear, guilt, shame. But in your enthusiasm to become debt-free, you may be leaving free money on the table. Stay till the end to find out what that money is. Hi there, I'm Avanti. I'm a mom, an investment analyst, and a CFA charter holder. And I've helped dozens of women take control of their financial futures. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow my Facebook page to learn how you can build your wealth through investing. In this video, I will talk about my take on debt and how you can decide if you should prioritize investing or you should continue making extra payments towards your debt. Even if you do decide to prioritize investing, don't forget to continue making minimum payments towards your debt. According to Experian, in 2021, Americans carried an average credit card balance of $5,500, an average auto loan balance of $20,000, and a mortgage debt balance of $229,000. The average APR on credit cards is 16%, which means if you carry a balance of $5,500, you just made a payment of $880 in interest to your credit card company. That may seem mathematical, but it's very emotional for some people. Here are 5 questions you should answer before deciding whether to prioritize investing or paying off debt. Don't let one answer dictate your final decision. Analyze all your answers holistically to make a well-informed decision. Question number 1. What's your interest rate on debt? If your interest rate is higher than 7%, as is the case with most credit cards after the 0% introductory APR honeymoon is over, you should most definitely prioritize paying off that debt before you even think about investing. That's a no-brainer. That 7% didn't come out of thin air. 7% is what the S&P 500 returned annualized between 1927 and January of 2022. So if you had a balance of $10,000 on a credit card that has an APR of 14%, on average, you are paying $1,400 annually in interest to your credit card company. By not having to pay that interest to the credit card company, you are saving $1,400. Technically, by paying off that debt, you are generating a 14% rate of return for yourself. There is no investment with a guaranteed return that high. If your interest rate is lower than 7%, you can continue on to the next question. Actually, no, continue on to the next question even if your interest rate is higher than 7%, because there may be free money you may be leaving on the table. Question number 2, what's your risk tolerance? If your risk tolerance is high, you may choose to invest in the stock market, but make sure to choose investments wisely. Watch this video to learn about the best investments for beginners. If your risk tolerance is low, there may be safer investment options that are better suited for your risk appetite. Safer investments don't generate as high a return as risky investments, in which case your interest rate on debt may be higher than the potential return you can generate through investing in safer assets, which means you would be better off paying off the debt quicker than investing in safer assets. Here's how you can determine your risk tolerance. Risk tolerance has 2 components. 1 is the ability to take risk, and 2 is the willingness to take risk. Ability to take risk is a function of number of factors such as your financial health, your age, and your physical health, and is more deterministic. In general, if you have a steady source of income to cover your monthly expenses, have a cash reserve for emergencies, you're able to save a portion of your monthly income every month, and your net worth is growing over time, your ability to take risk is higher. In the description below, I've linked my net worth calculator. So if you don't know your net worth, you can go there and find out what your net worth is. Willingness to take risk has a big behavioral component. Consider this. Say you invest a big dollar amount in the stock market today, and tomorrow the market falls by 50%. What would your reaction be? Would you be willing to invest additional money, or would you start to panic and lose sleep? If you say that you would not be able to tolerate that kind of loss, your willingness to take risk is lower. On the other hand, if you say that you are willing to make additional purchases in the stock market because stocks are at a bargain, your willingness to take risk is high. If both your ability to take risk and your willingness to take risk are low, then your risk tolerance is low. If your ability to take risk is high and your willingness to take risk is high, then you guessed it right, your risk tolerance is high. If your ability to take risk is low, but your willingness to take risk is high, your risk tolerance is still low, because your financial health is what dictates your risk tolerance. Just because you are a daredevil, your financial health does not accommodate that higher risk tolerance. Finally, if your ability to take risk is high, but your willingness to take risk is low, you may want to overcome some of your own mental blocks through education. Just because of your risk aversion, you may be losing big on potential gains through investing. So someone I know had a mortgage balance with a low interest rate, but she was always so stressed about losing her job that she wanted to pay off the mortgage as soon as possible at the cost of investing. This does not seem rational at all. Why would you pay a 3% loan off if you can use the same money to invest in the stock market and potentially generate high returns in the long term? But she was so stressed about losing that job and not being able to afford the monthly mortgage payment that she just wanted to get rid of the mortgage. But again, as I said, willingness to take risk is so personal and so behavioral that only you can determine what you are going to be comfortable with. If you like what you've heard so far, please smash the like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon so you don't miss any of my latest videos. And if you're watching me on Facebook, don't forget to follow my channel. I post a new video every week. And to help you better allocate your income, I've linked my personal budgeting worksheet in the description below. So don't forget to grab that. Question number 3. What's your financial plan telling you? If you've never made an investment plan before, do it right now. Here's a video that explains how you can create your own investment plan. And below in the description, I've linked my Excel template to help you create your own financial plan. Everyone has different priorities at different stages of their lives. One of my priorities is to fund my daughter's education if she decides to go to college. Even though I have a college savings plan for my daughter, I would like to have enough savings so I can fund any potential shortfall. And while the biggest chunk of my current expenses goes towards my mortgage, I want to be completely mortgage free by the time my daughter starts college, which is why I prefer a 15-year mortgage instead of a 30-year mortgage. But because my mortgage payoff date is so far out in the future, I'm also saving and investing very aggressively, which is why I asked you if you have a financial plan and if it includes debt payoff. If you have an aggressive debt payoff plan, like in the next year or two, you can definitely postpone investing by a couple of years if you're going to feel that a huge burden of debt has been lifted off your shoulders in a couple of years. However, if you plan on continuing making debt payments way out in the future, your debt payoff date is way off in the future, you should not postpone investing, because you will be missing out on thousands and thousands of dollars of investment growth that can be achieved through compounding. Watch this video where I talk about how time and consistency can help you become a millionaire, and how by delaying investing even by a few years can make a big difference to your portfolio. Also below in the description is a link to my debt payoff calculator. You can use it to make a debt payoff plan if you don't have one already. Question number 4. Do you have an emergency fund? An emergency fund is a cash reserve that will help you deal with emergencies. A job loss, car breakdown, your heater breaking down in the middle of winter, or an unexpected medical expense are all examples of emergencies. I recommend having between 3 and 12 months worth of expenses saved in a very liquid emergency fund. If you're risk averse, as I am, you may want to keep between 8 and 12 months worth of expenses saved in an emergency fund. If your risk tolerance is high, you may want to keep between 3 and 6 months worth of emergency fund. In any case, you should have at least 3 months of expenses saved in your emergency fund. You can use my budgeting worksheet below to determine your total non-discretionary expenses. So these are expenses that you absolutely must pay. So that includes your rent, mortgage, utility bills, car-related expenses, auto loan expenses, etc. Multiply that number by the number of months of emergency fund you would like to save. That's your sweet spot. Now take that money, or if you don't have that kind of money yet, start saving towards that money. Open a separate savings account or a money market account and deposit that amount in that account. And don't touch that account for your regular expenses. It's for emergencies only. And buying Christmas presents is not an emergency. Note that money market accounts are different from money market funds, which I'll talk about in a later video. So if you have an emergency fund that you're satisfied with, you may be ready to begin investing. If not, you may want to build that up first. Otherwise, you'll end up accumulating more debt on your credit cards or loans through your friends and family or banks in case of future emergencies. Question number 5, which is the last question. Are you leaving free money on the table? Some employers offer matching contributions to your 401k plan. For example, an employer may contribute 100% of your contributions up to a certain limit to your 401k plan. Say 5%, for example. What this means is if you make $100,000 a year and contribute $5,000 towards your 401k plan, your employer will also make a matching contribution of $5,000 tax-free. So if that is the case, don't leave that free money on the table. Always take that contribution. But remember, if you contribute nothing to your 401k plan, the employer matches the same contribution, which is $0. So don't leave free money on the table. If you do have a lot of debt to pay off, try to work around it. Try different side hustles to generate additional income so you can still contribute to that 401k plan and get that free money from your employer, which is tax-free, by the way. Here are some more retirement options that you may want to consider. I hope that after answering these 5 questions, you are able to make a well-informed decision whether it's a good time to start investing or whether you should prioritize paying off your debt. I have also linked some of my articles in the description below to help you make a better decision. In my next video, I will talk about rebalancing your portfolio. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss it. Also, don't forget to click on the bell icon because YouTube notifies you whenever I post a new video. That's it from me for this week. As always, don't forget to be happy, to be kind, and to be your best self. Bye. And here are some more videos I think you will enjoy. I would really appreciate your hitting the like button and sharing this video with your friends and family. It will help me reach more people.